Hi, I'm Lynn Webb with Practically Pikasso. We are a paint your own pottery and more art studio located on 4th Street in St. Pete.
I won't be defined by your dreams, committed to my goals, yeah. Gotta do my own thing, keep up the hustling. I won't be defined by your dreams, committed to my goals, yeah. Gotta do my own thing.
Hi, welcome to Hustleburg. Thank you for sharing your time with us as we chat with entrepreneurs here in St. Petersburg, Florida. We talk about how they got started, how they built their business, and how they serve our community. I'm Brett Bittner, and I'm the host of Hustleburg, and I started Beyond Your Side Hustle because I found that most entrepreneurs lack the time and expertise to build their own digital marketing strategy and still get results. As an entrepreneur here in St. Pete myself, I love meeting and talking with fellow small business owners about what they do and sharing that conversation with you. Now, you may have noticed a few changes with the podcast lately. One of the biggest is that we're now doing video. So if you're only listening to this episode, whether it's on your favorite podcast player, radiostpete.com, or Sunshine 96.7 FM, please know that this episode and all future episodes are available for you to view on YouTube and beyondyoursidehustle.com. Just visit beyondyoursidehustle.com/YouTube to subscribe or to watch your favorite episode of Hustleburg. If you find anything of value in this episode, I encourage you to subscribe. And if you would, also rate and review the episode as well, because it sends us the right signals to know how the conversations add value for you. Finally, if you're interested in being a guest in an upcoming episode and you own a small business here in St. Pete, let us know by visiting beyondyoursidehustle.com/podcast guest. Go.
All right.
So Lynn, why are you helping others unleash their creativity through pottery and painting?
I think that a lot of people have a lot of day-to-day stress. It seems like more and more every single day, and a lot of crazy things happening in the world. So this gives them a nice escape to do either by themselves to get some free time or with family and friends to spend some quality time together and just kind of let the outside world go.
Now, who do you find utilizes that escape the most or the best?
Well, honestly, we cater to everybody from 1
Okay.
to 100. There's something for everybody. We do get a lot of families in, spend quality time in here together, but we're great for a date night or ladies' night out or all kinds of parties.
Now, what is it that you think sets you apart from other do-it-yourself pottery studios? This isn't the only game in town, but what makes you guys different?
Well, we are a completely independent studio, so we have no corporate entities deciding what we can do. So we can really cater our needs to our customers and our client base and the people in our community in St. Petersburg and really get to know the people that become our guests and our friends.
Now, this isn't something that people just jump into. So what is it that inspired you to do this and create it in such a way that you have the freedom you just described?
I was honestly working in the corporate world for a long time, and I was using this as an outlet and escape
Okay.
before I purchased the studio. I don't have an art background. It's just something I love doing and love sharing with other people.
Now, who is the ideal person that you serve that's really going to get the most out of that escape and taking the time to really focus on themselves and have an outlet in this way?
Well, like I said earlier, we really do cater to everybody. So we've got classes for adults and classes for kids, and we've got themed events, and we've got all kinds of tools and techniques and things that we can use to help you create something. So even if you've never picked up a paintbrush before or think you have zero creativity, we can find something for you to create and have an enjoyable experience.
Now, as you're building Practically Picasso, what resources do you have at your disposal to guide you? Are there any books or podcasts or business coaches that are out there that are helping you succeed in business?
We have a great industry association for other contemporary ceramic studios. So I'm very active and involved with that. I work closely with a lot of our suppliers who have business coaches built into their organization to kind of help our independent studios kind of grow and succeed.
Now, taking a look at all of the things that have been created within your studio, what would you say is the most unique creation that you've seen come out of it?
I'll be honest, every time I unload a kiln, there is something that I'm like, wow, that's pretty amazing. I can't believe somebody did that. A lot of times people come in and just really surprise you with what they can come up with. The things that I like the most are the things that people take an item that is supposed to be one thing and turn it into something completely different. Like we have this ornament plate that I've seen done into pumpkins and fishing bobbers and just all kinds of things. So really thinking outside of the box and seeing things beyond what they are really kind of makes me happy.
Now, if there's one thing that you wanted to make sure that every member of the Hustleburg community knows about pottery, what is that one thing?
Art is a process, so it takes time. So you want to give yourself time to create your piece when you're in here, but you also need to give us time to fire it. You can't really rush a kiln going to 2000 degrees or cooling down from 2000 degrees. So time is a commodity that's important for everyone.
It's kind of like when we had Madison Blake from Maddie's Cake. She talked about how it's very important to follow a recipe. You can't just speed up the cooking process or the baking process by turning up the oven to a certain temperature and cutting the time by a mathematical equivalent to make the same outcome.
Exactly. Yes, exactly like that. And it
Now,
doesn't go
for
in the
those,
standard oven either, because lots of people
right.
ask us that.
Oh, for sure. We're talking big time, completely different. A kiln is very different, very
Yes,
high temperature, certainly not something you'd be able to accomplish at home.
correct.
Now, taking a look at all of the lessons that you've learned thus far with Practically Picasso, I'm somebody who doesn't necessarily describe failures as such. I look at them instead as lessons that I've learned about how something doesn't work or would work better. What would you say is the most important lesson that you've learned thus far with Practically Picasso?
I really think the pandemic was probably my biggest learning experience over the 20 years that we've been in business. There was definitely some points at the very beginning of it where I thought that 20 years was down the tubes and there wasn't anything we were going to be able to do to survive. So adaptability and thinking outside of the box and just being able to, I know pivot is kind of a cliche word that everyone used during the pandemic, but I really think, especially as an independent business, I was able to do that quickly. And that's really what helped pull us through, where I know a lot of my friends that maybe own franchises struggled a little bit because they had to wait to get corporate backing or corporate approval in order to be able
Sure.
to do the things that they needed to do to keep moving forward during that time.
Now, what are some of the most inspiring things that you've had the opportunity to work on in the community, both within the kind of art studio bubble that you operate in, as well as the Pinellas County community at large?
We do a lot of fundraising activities with schools and churches. We've done, fundraisers for kids that need medical expenses. We have a memorial garden at a couple different churches throughout St. Petersburg where people have painted tiles in memory of their loved ones. And I think the legacy walls, either at the schools or the churches, is really something that I'm most proud of in our community, because it's something that really has a lasting impact. And, it's nice for a kid that painted a memory tile in elementary school to go back there with their kids now that they're in that school and say like, hey, I painted that. And to know that it came from our studio is really kind of cool.
That is very cool. Now, taking a look at how you don't have, as an independent studio, you don't have that overarching brand that's out there to advertise and market on your behalf. How are you doing it to build your brand to make people aware of Practically Picasso in the art studio space?
I really really firmly believe in word of mouth advertising. We do a lot of, we have social media and things like that, and we go out to community events so that people see our name. But I really think that creating an amazing experience for people when they come into the studio is what helps us thrive, because they talk to their friends. Everybody shares their opinions on everything. And if they have a great experience, they're going to tell somebody else. So I really think that just building the relationships in our community is how we help continue to grow our business.
Now, in your wildest dreams, where is it that you want to take Practically Picasso? You have a 20-year launch pad that you're operating with, but where do you want to take it as an end goal? And what are you doing to get there?
Yeah, I would definitely love to see us in a bigger space, because there are so many different art mediums that we offer for either classes or events that we don't get to offer to our walk-in guests just because of strains that we have on our spacing. So I'd love to have a bigger space so that we can offer more of those things on a walk-in basis and really create a true art center. Different rooms with different activities, and you do paint pouring here and clay hand building here and throwing here and pottery painting here. And I just want it all under one roof, like a big art umbrella.
Got it. Now, how much would you say that you're working on the day-to-day, in the day-to-day of your business versus working on Practically Picasso to develop and grow toward that bigger space and being able to offer everything that you do to both your classes, scheduled events, and for your walk-ins?
It really is seasonal. In the summer, it's kind of all hands on deck, and around the holidays, it's all hands on deck. But I try to keep a kind of a 50-50 balance. I never truly want to give up in the studio part of things, because I love building the relationships with our customers. I love when you walk in the door that I know your name or your kids' names or where your kids go to school or what they painted when they were in here last. And so that part is really important to me to kind of keep me motivated and going, is those relationships. So I don't ever want to give that side up. So I try to kind of keep a 50-50 balance. I do a lot of the working on my business kind of like hidden in the back corner here. Sure. I always tell my team members, like, I'm here, but I'm not here. So
I've been there. I completely understand. Now, Lynn, are you a native of St. Pete?
I am not. I moved here in '93, so I've been here more than half of my life, but I am married to a third generation St. Petersburg native, so I'm kind of native by default.
Yeah, I would say, looking back that far, definitely a native in my mind in terms of how it comes to be here in St. Pete, because so many people move here from elsewhere. Where did you move to St. Pete from?
I moved from Michigan, so I went cold to hot, and probably
right.
Like I said,
never going back, right?
No, my husband is a Florida boy and not leaving.
Now, when you're not working there in the studio or working on Practically Picasso, what are some of your favorite things to do in and around town?
We love to kind of be tourists in our own town, and so visit all of the local tourist spots, even some of the hidden ones that you maybe don't really see stand out on a regular basis. We're definitely big foodies, so we love to try all the new restaurants that are popping up in town. And then I am a mom of 2 girls in competitive sports. So honestly, when I'm not working, I do a lot of shuttling to and from practices and tournaments. So.
Now, what are some of your favorite local businesses that you like to support?
I love Casita. They have 3 locations in St. Pete. Best place to go for tacos. Big fan of 4th and Vine. It's a little wine shop on 4th Street. And a lot of the restaurants down on Central and that Edge District area. Red Mesa Mercado. Like I said, foodie. So just give me someplace where I can try some new foods.
Now, what are some upcoming activities, events, or offering that you have there at Practically Picasso that you'd like to make sure that the Hustleburg community puts on their calendars for the second half of 2021?
We have paint till you faint night coming up, where people can stay until 11 o'clock at night and just paint their hearts away. We've got some potty mouth pottery events for our 18 and over crowd. We do have camps going on all the time. Even once the school year starts, we have day camps and Thanksgiving break and winter break. And next month in a couple weeks is July, and so we'll be starting our Christmas in July promotions, and then it's right on into the holidays. So it's never too early to start working, especially on like those personalized things. We have custom carved pottery, stuff like that is all handmade. So it takes a while to get that ready for you to even come in and paint. So.
Now, when is Potty Mouth Pottery and when is Paint Till You Faint?
Paint Till You Faint is coming up this weekend. Potty Mouth Pottery is at the end of July.
Okay, fantastic. And where can people find out more about what you offer and connect with you? We're talking about websites, social media, and the like. For those of you who are strictly listening, you're able to see this in your show notes. And if they are not clickable in your show notes, you can go to beyondyoursidehustle.com/practically Pikasso. And all of the links will be there as well.
Yeah, so we recently redid our website. We had someone local completely overhaul our website. So we're super proud of that. You can definitely check out upcoming events and classes and things on there. We are on Instagram at Practically Pikasso and on Facebook. So we're always posting and sharing ideas on there as well. And then we have a little text club that you can join to get special offers and kind of insider information.
Now, how do people join the text club?
You're going to text Pablo, like Pablo Picasso, to 57838 to join. And every month we do a drawing for a $50 gift card. So who knows, that could be your start to your creative side.
Fantastic. Lynn, thank you so much for taking the time to share with the Hustleburg community everything that Practically Pikasso has to offer the Pinellas County area. Hey, you did it. You've just listened to Hustleburg. Hustleburg is produced by Beyond Your Side Hustle, where we help you craft an awesome strategy for your business and build a community that supports you today and in the future. We help budding entrepreneurs go beyond their side hustle and into the business they're dreaming of. If we provided you with something valuable with this podcast, please take a moment to subscribe, rate, and review on your favorite podcast player, especially you Apple Podcast listeners. This is something that only takes a few seconds that will help us shine the spotlight on all the great businesses St. Pete has to offer and grow our community. Speaking of great businesses here in St. Pete, if you're a small business owner here and you'd like to share the story of your business with the Hustleburg community, please let us know by visiting beyondyoursidehustle.com/podcast guest. Did you know that at Beyond Your Side Hustle, we're helping small business owners reach ideal engagement on any social media platform with a free 3-week training by email? It's available for you at beyondyoursidehustle.com/3weeks. You can also find a link for it in the show notes. Start right now to learn how you can fix your feed to serve you, start engaging on social the right way, and create a community around you and your business. The opening music in this episode is Defining Your Dreams by my friend Rhymer Educator. I encourage you to check him out on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you listen to great music. Thanks so much for listening, and we look forward to sharing with you how we do business in the Burg.